Kim, and I'm also known as Mimi.
And we're glad you're here with us today to talk about our stitching and other stuff.
And it's our 4th episode. We're on 4.
That's a whole month.
I know.
Wow.
And we made it work.
We made it work. We figured out Zoom.
We figured out Zoom.
And iMovie.
I think, yeah, and Sarah's our editor, and I'm so thankful for that because I can't do that.
That's a generous term.
It's a generous term? Oh.
Well, last week I just copied and pasted. So I don't know movie editing. And if you know movie editing, you're probably further along than I am if you know anything. So I copied and pasted like the intro music into last week's video. And then I did something wrong and uploaded the wrong video, which took several hours. I did the raw footage rather than the actual movie with the stuff on it. So then I had to delete that off YouTube right away because I did at least realize it right away. And then it takes several hours for my slow internet connection to upload the movie file. Right. So anyway, I am a novice, but we'll get there.
But why do you think it's taking longer? But our first episode, which was super long, didn't take that long.
Oh, it's because when you put in the intro and you convert it into that movie project, it is a bigger file. That's why.
Got it. Okay. Well, Sarah and I both of us have had a little chaotic weeks and mornings today. And if I look away at my door, because I'm holed up in my den, I am surrounded by garbage bags full of clothes.
Show it. Just move your camera so we can all see.
No, nobody needs to see this. I have 2 kids moving out today. My youngest, my baby's moving out for the first time. Well, not the first time. I don't know why this is so hard for me. He went to Mexico and lived and worked with a missionary group there for 8 months. And he went to kind of a little Bible discipleship college for half a year. So we have been without him, but it just feels a little more permanent this time. And so he's moving out, and his girlfriend, who's been sheltering in place at our house, is moving out. And so I'm actually gaining 2 rooms. We have a small 4-bedroom rambler, and 1 bedroom is actually our den, and then there's really just 2 other bedrooms besides the master. So actually I'm trying to look at the silver lining and realize that I'm going to have so much more space to just put stuff, and my house is going to stay clean.
We can come visit you and have a place to sleep again.
Yeah. The last few years we've had to put the girls upstairs. We have kind of a semi-finished arched loft-like kind of attic area, which there's a ton of stuff stored up there. But there was space for a bed, and I think they thought it was an adventure, but it really isn't all that great up there. So this way we'll have a room for them and a room for Sarah and Jesse, and they can come visit more often. And then I still have the kids living out in the trailer on our property, and they are in and out. They use our water, but they can keep that bathroom clean. I don't have to worry about it. And it'll be, they don't really use my kitchen for much. So I'm trying to look at the silver lining, although it is a little bittersweet. You've got people moving out. Yeah. So there might be, I know they just left to go pick up the moving truck that they rented. So there might be some extra noise. So forgive us. And the lighting in here is not optimum, but I really can't go in the other room where I was last week, because it's even worse than this room.
I don't think it's too bad though. I think you're doing
good. Okay.
Hopefully. And then I had a little crazy morning. Well, kind of a crazy weekend so far. Our little puppy, who we got last fall, got hit in the leg by a car coming up our driveway. And we took her to the vet yesterday, and she had broken her leg in 2 places. So now on top of the puppies in the house, and the chicken in with the rabbit, and the kittens. Oh, Mama cat moved her kittens all down from where I really wanted them to stay. She tucked them away in a little corner in the basement where they're really hard to get to. And eventually I think I'm going to move them again, but I'm waiting. Maybe I didn't tell you that. Yeah.
No.
They were, I was kind of trying to keep them, but all of a sudden she just decided to move them all. And I tried moving them back. She got really agitated, so I let her move them back where she wanted them, but they're not in a really great spot, especially once they start to move around more. I kind of want them a little more contained.
Where did she put them? Where are they at?
Well, they're down, and we have this spare room down in our basement, and we have a finished basement, and I have a sewing desk in there and The girls
Oh,
have all their American Girl doll toy stuff, and my husband Jesse has a desk in there. She moved them back in the very corner, actually behind where I had my wedding dress hanging, in the corner behind his desk. So it's really hard to get to them, which is probably why she moved them there, because maybe she felt like we were handling them too much. But
yeah.
when they're a
And
little,
you had visitors last week that had a dog, a puppy that
yeah,
really
I
wanted to
think
be
that kind
friends
of
with
messed
them.
her a little
Yeah.
bit. And then we had like the neighbor boy came over and played the other day, which was really fun. But I think all the kids were in there the day before she moved them, and maybe she just felt like this is time.
Right.
So puppy in a cast for 3 weeks on her right front arm, foreleg, what's it called? Leg.
Did they say it would heal okay, they thought?
We thought it would heal. Yeah. But she's in a lime green cast. And I was a little concerned this morning because it had this like no chew stuff wrapped around it so that she wouldn't chew it. And she still had kind of pulled a strip of that off, but the actual splint and cast are intact. So fingers crossed it heals normally. She's like fine. She's hopping around on 3 legs. She wants to be in and out, and I'm trying to keep her inside, but she wants to go out. And so we're just kind of trying to, she's sleeping a lot. Anyway,
Yeah.
so I was dealing with that, chewing up the thing right before I went out grocery shopping this morning. And anyways, this morning just has felt like really busy, but here we are. And it was a little oasis in the day.
And we're going to talk about our stitching that keeps us calm.
Yes.
I have to say that I'm wondering what other people think about this. I went to my my side of the state. My county is opened up now to a modified 2, level 2, which is really called 1.5, but it means retail stores can open with very heavy restrictions and protocols. But my little local, well, it's local, it's one town over, stitching shop. She's a one-woman show. It's called Threadneedle Street. Her name is Denise. And so she's been the only one in her shop for months, just mailing out orders like crazy. People, I think people have kept her busy. She was talking to me about, I got to go in yesterday because she's open. And she was telling me, how hard, not hard, but it was difficult because she had to switch over to all mail out. And then all of a sudden she had to switch her process to curbside, which was, she didn't mind doing it. It was helpful, but it was just another switch. And, it was interesting because I saw online people saying during the last few months that they couldn't get DMC. And every time I called her and said, hey, I need to order some threads, Denise, she goes, okay, what do you need? And like, I think she always had what I needed for fancy floss too. But if I said DMC, she says, oh, good. She never had any shortages of DMC. Well, when I went in yesterday, I saw why, because she's been a shop owner, I think probably 35, 40 years. But over the years, she has built up a stock, a shelving unit of all the little boxes that all the colors of DMC came in. And so she had this huge inventory that she says, I always thought I was kind of crazy doing this, but I was so thankful I had done it. But as I was paying for my purchases, we were talking about the pandemic and business and stuff. I said, so it seems like you seem to do okay during this. And she said, yeah. She goes, I'm kind of afraid now that people are going to be kind of sick of stitching. And I think she's anticipating a drop. And I said, I don't think that's true, Denise. And I'm wondering if anybody else has heard anybody say that, because I feel like more people are stitching. There's so many people on Instagram. Every day I find new people to follow, and there's new Flosstubers, it seems like, coming up. So I told her I didn't think she needed to worry about it, but I was kind of wondering if anybody else had heard that sentiment.
Yeah, I feel like, well, maybe people who had just started will drop back off, but I think people who have been stitching for a long time are going to keep stitching, and maybe more so because they've had all this invest in thinking about it and adding projects and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see if she notices anything.
Yeah, and we all have, a ton more new whips because I think a lot of people started all the things.
Yeah.
So, okay. So that was my little anecdote for the day.
Do you have any finishes to show today?
I don't have any brand new finishes, but I was going to show a finish. I don't think you've shown this one yet. And I showed it maybe on Jan's interview with me, but I don't think I had it done. I might have just had it done. But it's Alicia Paulson's, because we've kind of been on Alicia Paulson kick.
And Jan, she means Jan Hicks.
Jan Hicks. Yeah, sorry. Wait a minute, it just came off. I'm sitting on it. So it's Alicia Paulson fall piece.
Oh yeah, I haven't shown mine yet. Okay. I think it's packed away with all my fall decor.
Yeah, I have not obviously fully finished it. And I just think
Did you do the called for colors?
I used all the called for colors.
Even on that big mushroom? Oh, it's pinker looking than I remember mine looking.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, maybe
I
mine
did.
is just the same and I just don't remember. It's cute.
But I just can't say how much I love her pieces enough.
Mm-hmm.
I think she's getting ready to release. She's got this new series going that Sarah started a new series of seasons, more of little separate motifs. So the spring one is out. Sarah started it. I have it, but I haven't started it because I was working on this one. And she's gonna put winter out pretty quick, I think, maybe in June or July. So that's I need to obviously press it and stuff, but that's my
Are you gonna just frame it in a frame?
I am gonna frame it, and I actually have kind of an eggplanty burgundy kind of colored frame that I think is pretty for fall.
Cute for fall.
Yeah, so it's one of my favorite finishes this year so far.
I have 3. I have a previous finish from last year that's not fully finished, but it's in process. So this is, I think it's called, is it called Lady Liberty? Oh, I looked it up right before. It's by Shelly Owen. Primitive Stitchin' is her shop name. And I stitched this last year. And I'm going to make it into a little pillow. So I had done a border. This is the first time I've ever kind of been creative with my finishing, honestly, like that. Well, like that anyway. So I just need to find a backing material and stuff it and just have a little pillow that'll sit up on my, so I think it's called Lady Liberty, and there's another word too. I'll put it in the links below.
Yeah. And that with my kids moving out, I have a room now that I can set my sewing machine up.
So I'll send things over for you to finish.
Yeah, I feel like it'll be easier to quick hop on and finish little pillows and stuff like that than it is now, because right now my sewing machine is squirreled away in a closet in somebody else's room, and it's a new machine that I hardly have used, and it kind of freaks me out a little bit because it's all computerized. So I need to get better at using it and not be afraid.
Once it's just out, you'll have more. I have 2 other finishes. These were both, did I show these last week? I can't remember. I might have. I've been working on them. This was a Mania start. This is Pumpkins for Kathy from the Snowflower Diaries. And so cute. I love how it turned out. I modified the colors. So it calls for different colors, but I used some of the called for colors. Like the flowers in her skirt are supposed to be yellow, but I decided I wanted them red to tie in, especially because I had changed the color of her scarf to a overdyed thread, and it didn't turn out quite as red as I was thinking. I don't know what I was thinking, but actually I kind of like it that way.
Are you going to frame it or pillow it?
I'm not sure what to do with this one. I haven't decided. I kind of would like
it'd be a really cute flat fold.
Yeah, maybe I need to learn how to do flat folds.
Vanna Pfeiffer has great videos. I've done one. That would be it wasn't her video that was the problem. It was me trying to follow it. It was quite a lengthy process. You need to have a chunk of time. Yeah. I think if you do them all the time, you get used to doing them. But I mean, I love the one I did, but it was definitely an afternoon for me to do.
Yeah, I'm gonna show the other one as with my whips because it's still technically a whip because I'm waiting for the rest of the finishing materials for the bottom. So I'll show that later with my whips.
Okay. The truck just arrived.
What did the moving truck?
Moving truck just arrived.
I can't hear anything, but I believe you. We have 3 guests still today. Here they are. Who's first? Okay. I guess Liddy's first. Okay. You have to come into the frame. There you go.
There you go.
I have a knitting doll. It was.
Do you want to show how it works?
Sure.
So it's got these 4 prongs at the top.
And then you take this. I only have a little bit left.
So we'll tie a thread on.
You take this and you wrap it around, and then I don't have anything.
Like a crochet hook, basically.
Have like a crochet hook, and you take the bottom one and you put it over top. Then you jump down that, and it makes all of this.
So this has been a group effort over a long period of time.
Like 5 years.
And what are you going to do with it? It's pretty ready probably pretty soon, unless you want to keep going.
It's going to be a pot holder.
Yeah, so you take this long strip. And there's another name for this kind of doll, but we've always called it a knitting doll, and I can't remember the other term. So we'll figure out. We will coil it.
Stitch it.
and stitch it on the edge to make, you know, like
Yeah.
you do with braided rugs or whatever, until it's a nice big.
Oh,
It's going to be a really large pot holder if we use all that.
aren't they just called knitting dollies? Or
Knitting
something like
dolly. Yeah, and I've heard another term for it, and I can't remember what it is, but that's what we've called
that?
it.
Not a knitting
You can-
Nancy. Why do I have the name knitting Nancy in my
Might be
head?
actually. Yeah, I think because I think they kind of originate from multiple language, you know, like there's multiple countries that they've kind of come from.
That was kind of the first thing they had, right, to start doing stuff with yarn.
This is the first thing. Yeah, they never had knit before, but
She has a little belt and stuff.
She's cute.
She is cute.
Yeah, this was one of our earliest handicrafts, and this is probably the original. This is, I think, the yarn that came with it.
These are all.
And then we just added.
These
So
5.
this is truly over many years.
Yes, like 5
probably
years.
since Lydia
Like
was
5
4 or
years.
5 years
Yes.
old. Yeah,
And 3 girls.
and all 3 girls have done it.
Oh, that's sweet.
And you've done it too.
I have helped some too.
Mhm.
I have my own one of those that you probably gave me when I was
Wait,
a
you do?
kid.
Cool.
And it
I
has
didn't know.
wooden pegs, but one of the pegs has come loose. And I've done it with fabric strips, mostly fabric
Oh,
strips.
I
And
remember you showing
I really
us
need to
You
glue
made
that
like
peg
a
back
little
on.
tiny dolly quilt with it.
No,
No, that was something else.
That was
you
something
did
else.
make something though, and you showed me it.
maybe. I don't think
Yes,
I've ever
you
finished
did.
anything with it. But
I
I've
wonder
always
what
wanted
you
to
did to
make
you.
a rug.
Yeah,
Well, it's probably
could
some
make a rug
Christmas
out of
gift or
this
something.
probably.
Good. That would be a cool rug. You'd have a
Yes, it
lot of
would.
yarn you'd have to do, but you could keep going with
We
it.
can make it for
Yeah.
an entry rug for our clubhouse
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
or our tree house.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
even
in
better.
the tree house.
That'd be great. So all kinds of plans for the knitting dog.
Yeah.
Millie's
Cool,
up.
girls.
Do you have the pattern picture for that?
I think I showed it to you first.
I know, it's usually good to just show the picture. If you're finished, why don't you sit and then all go at the same time? Okay, so this is what Millie, you worked on this some this week?
Yes.
Okay, I'll show the picture first. This is
Oh,
the Riola's kit that you bought for her.
Uh-huh.
This is those wool threads,
Uh-huh.
and this is how far she is. Do you know what part this is? Is it its ears?
Raise it up a little bit. There you go.
Oh, I think it's like
We probably started in the middle.
it's around this. Yeah, this stuff.
Yeah.
So it is around. And
So
I
cute.
started to do some of
really
this
adorable.
right here.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
So that's one of the things you worked on. And the other thing was, do you want me to hold it up?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm in a rolling chair. It keeps rolling backwards. Okay. Here. This is the shepherd's bush she has been working so hard on. So all those little purple flowers.
Uh-huh.
Did you finish the letters last week? Were they
Yeah, I
already done?
did.
Yeah. The letters were there last week.
It's really close to being done, Millie. You can finish it and have it ready next week.
Are you waiting? Mimi bought green thread. Is that for this
Oh,
project?
Yeah. So she ran out of this color.
Up,
The deep
up.
green.
The
It's
deep green color.
It's avocado.
And it's 3021.
It's one of the overhead.
And so as soon as that comes in the mail.
No, you told me 469.
Oh, you're right, 469.
Yeah,
But it's
okay,
a green,
good.
right? It's a green.
It is a green.
You were buying 3021. That's why
I was buying 3021 because it was the one DMC my little needlework store didn't have because
Yeah.
somebody came in and bought a whole box of it from her.
that's why I had that number in my mind. 460.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's that green. She ran out of it, or she probably lost some of it off.
Yeah, because the green. I might actually be able to give her some of mine because mine's the.
Okay, got Rosie up.
Come on over, Rosie.
I'm right
We're
here.
waiting for you. This is
Hi, Rosie. Hi.
Rosie. This is a finish for Rosie that she
Oh.
made. This was probably your second knitting project, huh? And what is it
It's a scarf
for?
for my stuffed animal lovey puppy.
For her special
Wow.
snuggly lovey puppy that she sleeps with every
Does,
night.
does he wear it? I've never seen him wear it when I've been over there.
It's a
Her.
her. She
Oh, I've never.
was in the winter. Not
Oh.
too much lately, huh?
Right. It's getting a little hot right now for scarves, huh?
Yep. So she knit that pretty much all by herself.
Good job, Rosie. You're
Good
doing such a good job.
Okay, you may leave. Please leave. Please go do your chores.
Bye.
Bye, girlies. I love you.
Bye.
Love you too. Bye.
Okay.
Hey, on to the fun thing. Let's talk about the fun thing that we did last night.
Oh, the fun thing that kept me up till 2 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, whoa, way later than me. Really? Oh my gosh, I had to stop and put it away so I could
I don't know what's
make
wrong
my
with me.
grocery list. Ugh.
I had this goal in mind, and I was not going to bed until I hit that goal. And it's such a fraction of what this whole
I know.
thing is.
Okay, so last night we got on FaceTime and we started our
Hot
Run
Run
Hollows.
We did it.
So my threads came in, which is the only haul I have really for the whole week. And I started the Shores of Hawk Run Hollow, and you started
a year at Hawk Run Hollow, and I have just realized that I really like patterns that are months. I love this. There's been some other ones I've been looking at lately that are kind of monthly motifs. Yeah. I don't know why, but I just, every time I look at each of these little blocks, I just kind of smile and I think, oh, I can't wait to get to that one.
They're so I love it.
And we both did our first stitches at the same time. I started in my upper, I'm looking at the wrong piece here. Let me get the bigger one. I'm doing January. And when I show you what I did, oh my gosh, Sarah, this is why I stayed up so late. I did the top border. It's 90, it took me forever to figure out just the top row. Oh, it's 92 stitches, okay? Okay, we're both doing this 1 over 1 on, I think on 28. Yeah. And so I counted and I counted and I counted and I counted. I must have counted that border, I don't know, 35 times, which is what took me so long because I was also watching TV and I kept getting distracted. Yeah. But I did get the top, and I'm not, I hope if you screw up your border, man, you're screwed.
Well, so the border just continues. Isn't it the same border all the way across the whole piece? Like,
No, mine has a break. There's a stitch in between.
Oh, mine does too. Oh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I didn't do my whole border.
So look at this huge finish. I mean, start at that.
It's tiny, but it's a lot of stitching right there.
It's the letter S for the word should, because the words in this square are should all acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind. And I was looking at all the different sayings on here, and it makes me feel so nostalgic about my life. I mean, New Year's Day with my parents was never that big of a deal, but I remember years when my oldest grandparents were alive, and my grandma Eileen loved New Year's Eve. She would go outside if we were with them. I would see her go out with pans and bang on pans at midnight. And I don't know what it is. I think also because I love the movie Sleepless in Seattle, and at the end of the movie, I think, or somewhere, they're playing that song. But anyway, every one of these squares has a little something in it that makes me feel really nostalgic for my childhood and maybe my young adult life. But anyway, I did get that little S done, and I can see why this is going to take probably a very long time, because over 1 is tricky. It's tricky, but I love it. Love it.
So I started in the top corner right here, the lighthouse. It says light the way, come what may. But I didn't get to any letters because this is all I got, and this felt so long.
Oh, it's so cute though. Look at, I love the lighthouses.
It's the top of the lighthouse. I have to say, so when we first started, when we both put our first stitches in, it was kind of anticlimactic, because then we were like, should we do this with 2 over 2 threads or 1 over 1 over 1? So we're stitching it over 1. We first tried border with 2 over 1. We're like, no, I don't think so. We both ripped it out. Then we both did. Well, then I did 1 over 1, and then I went back. Like, I was kind of comparing, and then I went back and ripped out the 2. Yeah. But when I started to do the lighthouse, the white just didn't pop at all with 1 over 1, just 1 strand over the 1 square. So I went to 2, and let me tell you, I know now why we are not doing 2 over 1. It is impossible because it's so tight. It just, I don't know if you can tell, but look at how uneven the stitches all are and everything. Yeah. Oh, don't mind my dirty fingernails. I've been gardening a ton this week. It just, So I'm actually leaving the double stranded at the very top. And then going forward, I'm just stitching 1. In fact, the next white row is 1 over 1. I think it's gonna be fine. And the stitches will be way more even. It was
It
like
just looks like a line of blobs. Like when I did my border 2/1, it just, you saw no X's. It was just
yeah.
a blob of black on the fabric. It didn't look like anything.
Yeah.
And now that I've been doing it, especially when I filled in that S, definitely I could never have done that. When you're doing full coverage like in that little
It would have
square,
been too
I
much.
would never be able to do 2/1 in there. It would have been a mess.
Yeah, and I'm like kind of.
Are you using B5200 for your white?
Yeah, I am. It calls for just something else. I forget. It just calls for white, but I went with B5200 because it has that nice bright.
I wonder if there's
I think it shows up fine. I think just the first
Yeah.
3 little stitches I was like, "Ooh, I think I'm going to do it with 2, and I wish. Well, I don't really care that I did, but going forward, I will not be doing that.
Yeah.
It was like really laborious to even just get the needle through the holes, finding the holes, and then it would kind of pull the fabric. So I'm doing this on, this is gorgeous. Is it showing up at all as the light?
It looks much better today. Oh yeah, now I can see. Oh yeah, now we can see the modeling in it and stuff.
This is Lugana picture this plus Sterling. Sterling? I think Sterling.
Sterling, I think.
Yeah, Sterling. And it's so pretty. And even in person, it's more blue than I think it looks.
I think your white, when you get more of it on there, will be okay.
I think so. I mean, there is blocks of white, and you can see the white from there. So it'll be.
There's always, to be honest, I mean, I think there's some fancy flosses that people claim are bright or white, but I don't know if it really, at what point is it just white? I mean, it's still all just white. So.
And it's like mostly large blocks of white in this piece. So I think even in like the house is a big block. The ship. So it's not like very often just one. I guess here maybe is one. But most of it.
It'll be great. Yeah.
I am excited to work on it some more this week.
So if you are wanting to do a Hawk Run Hollow, or have started a Hawk Run Hollow, or just want to see Hawk Run Hollows, we mentioned last week that there was a Facebook group started by Carolyn Zook from C Zook Stitch, and it's called Friends of Hawk Run Hollow, and it's grown this week. There were a ton of people that joined that group.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah.
So many beautiful pictures of people stitching. It's been really fun to just follow along and be inspired and be excited about starting ours.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, what's next on our agenda?
Well, we have more whips. Well, I have more whips.
Oh.
Do you want to go or me?
Yeah, I have very limited because remember I said I was going to have this big plan for my stitching. Yeah, well, I didn't do any of what I said I was going to do. I was going to work on some fall pieces, and I never did. And I think part of it was I was going to work on my button up like 1 hour a night, and when I would pull that out for that hour, I just never stopped stitching on it. I just kept stitching. So I think I was just too lazy to go get another project.
Hard to switch. Yeah, sometimes it's easier.
It's hard.
To just
so this week, I don't think, did I show this last week? I don't think I had. I think I just had the little trees when I showed this on this new block. So first of all, let me show you what block I'm working on. Oh, this poor pattern. I'm working on, oops, sorry, I bumped you. I'm working on this little block where the little kiddos on the sled being pulled by the dog.
Aww.
Last week, all I had, if I showed it at all, was 3 green trees.
That just looks like winter here. When we have snow and the kids are playing in the pasture and Gideon's out there. Our dog, we have a big dog, Gideon. He's not that kind of dog, but he's big. He doesn't pull them. He plays with them, though, in the snow.
I don't think I had the houses on last week.
I don't think so.
I got the houses, and I got the little kiddo on the sled and part of the dog. And I think once I get the dog done, that rest of it is all just white. So it'll just be fill-in white.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just am really loving this piece. And somebody asked me on Instagram about my fabric.
A lot.
And yeah, it's kind of crooked here. And my fabric is, I'm sure, just a 28 count Monaco. That I'm doing it 2/2. And I think it was just a Monaco that I dyed. I Rit dyed. I didn't tea dye it. I just Rit dyed it a dark gray. And part of it, there's some beautiful ones that you can find online that have been done on beautiful oatmeal colored fabrics. But I started it on a piece of fabric like that, and I did not like it. And I think part of it is because when it snows here, in Seattle, we don't have bright, sunny. Like when we lived in Minnesota, when it snowed, it would be gray, and then the next day it would just be bright and sunny. We have like maybe like 2 or 3 days of like snowy days that are just gray, but pretty gray. Like it's a light gray. It's not gloomy like when it rains here, but it's definitely gray. So I wanted something different. Plus, I think the white pops. So
I think so too. I like that gray.
yeah. So I didn't do anything fancy, and I couldn't even tell you which dye I used. I don't remember what color it was. So that was the one thing I worked on, and then I have a surprise start. I have a surprise start because I have no willpower, no self-control. I have to pull up the picture because I printed it out in black and white, and it is by Barbara Anna.
Yeah,
it is Forest Queen, and I don't know what it is.
Released that, or did you just find it?
Just released it.
It's a brand.
Okay. Yeah, and I just love everything about it. She's got little fox ears on there. I love that thing, that tray or whatever, the little mushrooms at the bottom.
Yeah.
I saw it. I'm like, I have to stitch this.
What's it called? What's it called?
Forest Queen. Now I will say I have bought other patterns from her, and I feel like she has an Etsy shop. I couldn't find it anywhere but on another website called Creative Poppies, and it is actually a company. It's in English, but it's based out of Paris, I believe. And I think she might be. I haven't researched her, but I have a feeling she might be Russian. Because she does a lot of, or else she just does a lot of collaborations with somebody in Russia, and maybe I don't know. But anyway, I had to order it off of Creative Poppies, which was kind of a difficult website to navigate. I was having a hard time with it, and I will give anybody a heads up that if you order from there and you don't do a lot of international ordering, your bank card might get flagged. Because I ordered it one night, and then the next day I went to 123 Stitch to place an order, and I was trying to place an order on Etsy for something, and my card kept getting declined, and I started to panic thinking, what's going on? I just got paid yesterday. There should be money in that account. And so I called the bank, and they said, oh, your account's been flagged. There's just for possible fraudulent activity. And then they went back to that one, and I said, that's it. I go, she goes, yeah, it says it's Paris. And I said, that's probably why. And yes, I did make that purchase. So just a heads up, because, in this time in the world, things are just kind of chaotic. So I did start it. I had almost all the flosses, but you really can't. I mean, I'm sorry, they're in flossaways, but there's some beautiful greens and pinks and this beautiful blue.
Oh, that's pretty. It looks like a robin egg.
Blue. She uses a lot of the 3800s, which I love. And this is my start. Oopsie.
I have to tell you that she texts me at least once a week, sometimes twice, with a link saying, look what I just bought.
And it's have varied from my new normal. My old normal of starting a piece used to be smack dab in the middle of the piece. Yeah. And then when I started stitching again a couple of years, I realized people were starting in the corners, and I'm like, well, that makes more sense because you can work down. So, but this piece I started in the middle, and I have a whopping start.
Is it 5 stitches? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yeah, it's like 6 stitches.
7 stitches.
But I bought this fabric at the needlework store. It's forgot what it was called. It's a Lugana. It's a 28 count Lugana, and I don't know if it's showing up for you, but it's kind of a khaki color, which I thought a linseed would be beautiful on. And I would have worked on it more last night, except for we decided to start our Hawk Run Hollows. And so I put this down and all that stuff. So that's really all I've worked on this week.
More time for stitching later.
Yeah, that's all I worked on this week.
Okay. Well, I was thinking I would show this in a finish, but then I realized it's really not finished. This is I started it and it's almost finished this week. It's a design that was in the Just Cross Stitch Halloween or October issue 2019, and it's by
Pinochka.
Dokia. I forget her last name, but yeah, her Instagram and her Etsy shop is Pinochka. I hope I'm even saying that right. Pinochka Stitches, and I'll put a link in our show notes. But it's called Autumn Cat, and she has something really similar on her Etsy shop. It's going to be, so this is creative finishing. I'm getting creative. So you cut it out, obviously, in the shape of a cat and then stuff it. And it's going to have little tiny, did you find buttons?
I did find buttons, but I don't know if you're going to remember where I was going to go look for some
buttons.
Huh? Yeah.
So our, like, nothing where we live is open because we're the worst on the whole West Coast, I think, in terms of COVID. So my Hobby Lobby is still closed. My Joann's, my Michael's, nothing is open still. So anyways, she was looking for buttons for me because I want some little tiny cream buttons or brown or something for the eyes, and then I'll cut it out.
Do you have the pattern? Do you have the pattern to show them?
No.
Here.
Oh. Do you have it?
Here. I will look it up while you talk about it. Hold on.
The designer actually, I posted it on Instagram and link, tagged her in the photo, and she actually featured me on her Instagram stories last night, yesterday, which was really exciting and fun. But yeah, so it's almost finished. I loved the colors. I think I used a different color than I didn't use the called for color for this because I didn't have it. So I used more of a brighter.
So
really
I found
the picture.
I didn't find this exact one, but this gives you an idea. This is her Halloween one. So
oh yeah, so she has another. So see how it's cut out in the shape of a cat. It has little whiskers. This one is for sale on her Etsy shop in a bundle of other little stuffed creatures, I think, with like a frog and rabbit.
I was going to show you this.
Oh, they're so cute.
Adorable.
Show the frog if you.
I was going to try to find it, and I don't know what I did here.
So her Etsy shop is Pinochka Stitches, and it's an Etsy, and I will link it because I will give her all the business I possibly can. All of her designs are so pretty. She uses a lot of really like nature motifs and stuff. And this one was actually in the magazine, and I happened to be flipping through and loved it. And I thought, oh, I wonder if that's Pinochka, because I followed her for long enough that I kind of start to see similarities. But I just loved the oak leaves and the acorns. We live near a state forest or a state park that has an oak grove, and we always talking about wanting to plant some oaks on our property.
Well, for pity's sakes, I don't know what's going on. This is the bundle you get.
We're doing great.
You get a whale.
Oh, the whale too. Yes, I'm really thinking about getting that and doing that whale and having it out for
the cat. And oh my gosh, I don't think the frog is really showing up.
No, it's not. But go find her Etsy shop, look for that, and see how cute they are. They're really, really cute. Just
she is
creative and interesting and sort of fresh. I worked this week on my milk and cream company.
Oh, you did?
I did put some stitches in, not a lot, but a little. Actually, not bad. I started, so this is how far I am. Got the little cow peeking out the corner.
Oh.
Really this week I worked on this light green on the door. There it is. So that color is called prairie grass, and I wasn't sure it had very much variegation, but I'm doing it vertically striped and I actually really like how it's turned out.
I found the frog.
Okay. Yes. It's so quirky and funny.
It is. And if you love, she actually has a little mouse too, but I don't think the picture, I don't think the picture would show up if I showed it, but yeah, go see Pinochka. And I think her given name, she also has is Evdokia Nikolaeva.
Yeah.
She has a couple different Instagrams. So yeah, she's
I think I'll probably buy more of her patterns in the future and stitch them. I worked on Lily Violet this week and finished the brown of the basket and started that white kerchief that comes out of the basket. It's a lot of white, so I just need to fill it in. Now I'm at the fill in point where I think I just can stitch white all the way down.
And that basket of flowers takes longer than it looks like it's going to.
Yeah, well, look at all the color changes and yeah, it's really, really pretty. And I worked on one more. Well, the Hawk Run Hollow. I finished my little Snowflower Diaries rabbit. I worked really hard on that mostly this week. But I also put in some stitches one day on. I did this while stitching out in my friend's yard while watching all our kids play in their pool. My Jardin Privé. And I stitched. Really just finished this motif and the butterfly, and I started the next flower motif down below.
So
I'm trying to decide whether I want to, if I should do the back stitching border ahead of time, so I just kind of have that done as I go and don't make any mistakes in my lining up. But I think I might do that this week. Just put piece by piece. So those are my whips this week. I actually worked on quite a few things.
I love it. I need to get more varied. I just felt stuck this week. I think it's been really rainy, really gloomy. I mean, this is why I don't like spring in Seattle, because it gives you a teaser. You'll have a couple of 80-degree days and then a couple more 80-degree days interspersed with 50-degree days and rain. And we had, I think on Monday, the day it rained, and they said, oh, they measure like sunlight. And they said, it's the gloomiest day we've had since January. So I'm like, no wonder I feel so unmotivated. Plus my work at home, I mean, I'm working from home still, is picking up. So I think I felt behind at work. I had one thing I wanted to mention. On our first video, I showed a picture, a fully finished of a folk art piece stitched by, and I didn't remember who it was stitched by, and somebody commented and said it was designed by Barbara Bergeau Richards, I think, she's French. And I knew that I had another piece that I wanted to stitch of hers somewhere in my stash, and I found it, and it's this adorable piece. I think if I stitch it, I'm going to give her gray hair. But it is in a it's in a magazine that I've had for a while. I don't even remember what magazine. I can't even find the cover of it. Wow. I cannot find, I don't think she's still designing, but you can find patterns of hers on, I believe, eBay. Of all things, this is the magazine. I don't even remember. It was a Leisure Arts magazine called Make Every Day Special. I don't even know. I don't think I ever had any other ones.
It doesn't even look familiar at all.
No. Have to look through it and see if there's anything else in here I like, but I found it. I don't even know where I bought it, but anyway, if anybody was interested. I also realized after looking her up on the internet that I've stitched another one of her pieces. It's a Christmas piece. It's one of my favorite ones, and I kind of forgot it because it's put away. So anyway, if anybody wants to know more about her, her patterns can be found somewhere, just not on 1-2-3 Stitch.
And I'll have you give me her name, and I'll put it in the notes below so you can look her up.
She's an artist. I think she did. I mean, a lot of pictures come up of paint. It looks like paintings that she did, and then some of them got turned into stitch patterns. So, yeah,
really pretty. So you haven't started that, but you want to.
No, but I really want to because I don't have really much to work on.
No, you're running low on projects.
I can't believe this. I have a baby sweater I have to finish knitting.
Yeah. Well,
no
but
time.
You have a lot of projects to cross stitch.
I know.
What's your haul this week? Because I don't have, well, I'll just show mine because it's not really exciting, but I got a bundle of DMC sent in the mail to me by my mom for my Hawk Run Hollow, just because I can't buy them myself anywhere. But
she tries to get them to her because of my scribbled handwriting. Okay. My first haul is something that I talked about last week that I ordered on a whim, thanks to Jan Hicks Creates and probably somebody else. I don't know. I can't even keep up with everybody, but I'm trying. I'm trying to keep up really hard. And so I ordered this kit off of Amazon. It's a dimensions kit. I don't really stitch dimension kits.
No, this is going to be one of those that you start and then I take over. That's what I predict. Okay, wait. The glare is bad on the plastic.
Okay, I'm sorry. I did not open it. I'm gonna have to open it because I cannot believe I purchased this. Oh, I don't think I have any scissors to do it.
Oh.
It is really hermetically sealed here.
Well, you can try again, maybe.
It is called Scenic Farm. It says it's an Amish scene, but I don't see anything on here that makes you think it's Amish.
Just kind of
Here, yeah, it's a beautiful. It really is beautiful, and I really, for me to have ordered it, a kit like this, I had to have really loved it.
Yeah, you don't really stitch. Oh, yeah, that's a lot of stitching, Mom.
Oh my word,
It
is a lot of stitching.
Oh,
Look at that. I mean, look at this house right here, or this barn, or whatever it is. I mean,
I love the snow on top of the grain silo and the. Oh,
and
that
the
is.
sky is stitched.
Oh,
So basically, I'm doing a dimensions Haid.
like the big dimensions I'm doing. Yeah.
I love it though.
What's
I
the
really
count of the fabric? Oh, I can see 18 count white fabric. White
yeah. Same with the fabric, and I mean, oh, bless them.
It's all separated.
It's all separated.
Dimensions, I think usually are. Mine have been.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I saw somebody on a Facebook page this week just bitterly complaining about buying a kit, and you have 8 shades of blue, and people said, I throw those out. I won't buy those kits anymore because you could spend hours trying, and some of them don't even tell you how many strands of each shade. Shepherd's Bush used to do that. I don't know if they still do, but it wasn't so many. I mean, maybe you had 3 shades of green. But anyway, this came, and and it is on Ada, so I'll probably do it on the Ada. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like,
but this is definitely, I didn't even notice this. There are little tiny sheep.
oh. Oh.
Oh, but those houses are going to take me forever. Okay, so that was one.
That's one of those projects that you just have a goal. Like, I'm doing 100 stitches or this chunk, and then when I'm done, I can stitch something else.
Before I die. Another one that's glaring. Oh, wait, I can open this one easier, though. I clearly am also on a little bit of a prairie schooler kick, and I really wanted to start thinking about some more springy things besides, I put stuff up for Easter, and I basically have had it up, and I took a little bit of it down and put my little Lily Violet up, but I bought these these little pillows.
Those will be cute.
Well,
are you gonna
whatever you want to make,
like little ornaments or pillows? Or
I'm gonna make little pillows because, again, remember my goal is to have a I love this one.
Yeah, that's really pretty.
I love that one.
Bird thing right now.
Yeah.
I like that bottom. I like the bottom right with those bright flowers. That's cute.
Yeah. I mean, they're just really pretty. And, I don't think they would take real long to do.
Probably not.
If I put my mind to it. But I saw that. And with Prairie Schooler, I always feel like if I see something I like from them, I really ought to get it. Because I don't really know the history of Prairie Schooler, but I feel like they kind of were a big deal a long time ago, and then they stopped printing them, and now they're being reprinted. And I know you have to be really careful when you buy them off of eBay because some people are copyright infringing, and they don't have rights to reprint them. So this one I bought off of 1-2-3 Stitch, so I'm trusting that it's good. So I bought that, and then I also bought, somebody enabled me, get who? Not Forgotten Farm. It is a little needle case. It's a bird. Obviously, I've got a bird thing going, and this is when you open it up, your little felt pieces are little blue eggs. It doesn't come with any of the finishing. Huh?
It's so cute. You have to buy the little felt and stuff for the inside.
Yeah, and the fabric. I think you know what? It was an exclusive in 2014 for somebody, some treat or something maybe, and I think it originally had come as a kit, but not anymore.
Now it's just the pattern.
I thought it was so sweet, and I thought, well, it's something different besides just a pillow or something to frame.
Yeah.
I bought that, and then I won something from Carolyn Zook. This is from Summer House Stitch Works, and it's one of their fragments in time, which I guess are quite popular right now. There's some, it's just a tiny little chart.
Oh, there's a house down the road from me that looks so much like that.
Mm. It's sweet. It seems summery.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe it's fallish. Are those? I don't know what those are at the bottom. Anyway, she had it as a giveaway, and I won it. And in fact, she had several things she was giving away, and this is the one thing I really, really wanted. Jan Hicks. Jan Hicks is doing a series of them, and she's been posting on her groups because she's changed the colors on them because they're primary for her. And there's a series that they have that has like a word along the bottom, like harmony. Anyway, she's doing those. And then the last thing I purchased was, oh no, there was a couple of things in here. I showed a couple weeks ago that I had purchased these. I had never seen them before, these Prairie Schoolers, and I showed this one a couple weeks ago. And then I went, and I thought I had ordered 2 different ones, and I actually had ordered 2 of the same. But then I ordered 2 more because I love them so much. I like them better than just the Santas. I'm not drawn to the Santas. And then this is the other one I bought. Oh, and they're a little bit different color scheme, so I'm going to pull the threads and see which, I'm going to try to make them match.
Are you thinking you'll go with the brighter? I would see your house having that brighter, a little brighter red, like that one.
Yeah, I probably would.
I would use the same colors if I were you.
Because 2 of the 3 have that red.
Mm-hmm.
I got those, and then I had to get a 3rd one because I had to. It's one of my other ones that I seem to be drawn to all the time, and it was a Plum Street, and it's called Autumn Hill.
Oh, that's really sweet.
Love those poppies.
The poppies are great. I haven't really talked, I could have talked about this at the beginning, but I'm doing a bunch of landscaping. I didn't even tell you this. My friend is a landscape architect. That's her, but she doesn't do that for a living right now because she's a stay-at-home mom. But she came up, and bless her heart, I feel like I owe her a lot of money. And she's like, no, this is so fun for me. I love getting to do this. She just helped me map out what I'm doing with my property for the rest of my life. I don't know. It was really great. Oh, really? Yeah. And so one of the things that I've always wanted to do is we live in a rural road, just like out in the country, surrounded by pastures and cows and fields. But on our road, there's this patch that up to now is sort of dry, and it's just been weedy. And she said with some manpower, I could easily just pull all those weeds out, and for really cheap, sprinkle like a 1/4 pound each of poppies and cosmos or something, and they would just be this, which is what I've always dreamed of, like having this gorgeous pop of color all spring and summer. So I love that poppy one because I've been thinking I'm going to get some colorful poppies and do that there.
I don't have a lot of very specific memories. I have specific memories of my grandpa, my dad's dad. But he used to take us to the park when we would go visit them. And I remember I had to have been little. And I mean, I'm 59, so it was a long time ago, but I still remember him telling me that California poppies were his favorite flower. And I don't know why I still remember that all these years. Every time I see him, I think of him. And I had one other thing I had pulled to show in case we talked about our July plans, which we didn't. But I did want to show another Pinochka piece that I do want to stitch.
Oh.
It's a bird.
Don't show the pattern there.
And it is so sweet. And it was in the 2019 Christmas Ornament magazine last year.
Yeah, there you can see it right there.
She actually made the cover. I mean, maybe they're all on the cover. I don't know. Anyway, so that's another one that we love of her. So that's all I have except for, this.
Oh, yeah.
My yesterday's foray, because I'm starting another Hawk Run Hollow apparently because
that was another one of those texts I got. Oh my gosh, I just bought the Christmas Hawk Run Hollow. I'm starting it soon.
Because on the Friends of Hawk Run Hollow Facebook group, there's a sale starting in July. I thought, well, I must join in, and I must. So I'm going to. And it'll probably get done in about 20 years.
Are you going to stitch it 1 over 1? Yeah, 20 years is generous.
Huh?
20 years would be generous.
You might inherit it to finish. Anyway, that's my haul. It's
Rosie
crazy.
might inherit it to finish.
I went a little
by the
crazy.
time you're ready to let go of it, it's gonna be one of the girls.
Yeah, that's true.
And I won't have the eyesight left.
I think my plans for next week are just going to be working on button up probably and my hawk run. And I want to figure out a rotation. And I said I was going to do that last week and I didn't do it because clearly I'm having ADD problems and I've been just buying all the things. So I don't have a real
Really retail therapy week for you. And for me, like my therapy is just stitching. That's why I'm just stitching like crazy, because when things are hard, I'll just want to sit down and stitch. Gardening and stitching when the seasons allow are really my escape. So yours is buying new pretty things and mine is
I know. I think I'm thinking I'm going to buy these things and they're going to stitch themselves.
Mm-hmm. Well, that doesn't work that way. My plans this coming week are supposed to be winter, like I was doing seasonal weeks of June. I'm not feeling really excited. Well, I do like my Cuore, the one we gave away last time. So I might make that my focus piece this week. But I think it was so fun this last week to have 2 finishes, like just pop right out, that I'm kind of wishing I had some little Christmas ones. So we'll see what I find and decide to stitch out of my stash. I might end up starting one more new, like a Christmas small or something, or winter small.
Yeah.
But I haven't gone through to pick. So that's my plans. And we do have a giveaway today, right?
We do.
And it's related to, we didn't talk about our plans for Jolly July, but we will talk about them when it gets closer. But we wanted to do this giveaway this week because then whoever wins it will have time to receive it if they wanted to start it for Jolly July, because it is Christmas theme. Do you have the pattern handy?
I do. We will not always have Christmas giveaways.
Yeah. So the last one was Christmas because it just happened to be, and this one is because of July.
Jolly Schoolers.
Yes, I do.
2008. And I really think these might have just been re-released because I don't remember ever seeing these, at least not on 1 2 3 Stitch until just recently.
Somebody, you can comment and let us know. We don't know a lot of stuff. We're just showing our stitching.
Right.
So if
and,
you have info that you want to share.
It has the alphabet and the numbers on back, so you can put your own year in there.
Uh-huh.
But I just think they're so sweet, and they're just
I like that fire. The fires in the mantle.
I think again, these make me feel nostalgic for the 60s and 70s when I was a little girl, and Santa was everywhere. You know, that was a real popular decorating tool, and now it's, you know, he's still around, but I don't know. There's just something about him that just, these pieces that just really speak to me, and they're not a ton of colors. I'm sure there's more stitching on there than it looks like because obviously that fireplace would take a while to do. But anyway, we thought if anybody was interested, or even if they didn't want it for Jolly July but just want it, we're giving it away.
You wouldn't have to be obligated to stitch it at any certain point in time if you want it, but we just wanted to send it out in case somebody did. I forgot to think about what to put in the comments. If, like, don't put giveaway, don't put free, don't put any of those kind of buzzwords. We could ask if you're going to.
It's called By the Chimney. Should we have them make up a sentence about chimneys?
They could do that. That might be hard. We could ask if you are stitching Jolly July, and then just be sure to include Jolly July in your comment. Just whether you are or whether you aren't, and if you are,
right,
you're going to stitch a bunch of ornaments. You tell us what you do. I have not done Jolly July before. Did you do it last year?
I did not do it. I did. Jan Hicks started a Christmas in July, and before Jolly July ever got started, it was called Christmas in July. I think Jolly July might have been started by Fat Quarter Shop and maybe Elsie and Priscilla. But I did do Christmas in July with Jan Hicks Creates 2 years ago. I think in 2018, I did an ornament that I had started a long time ago out of one of the ornament magazines, but I did not do Jolly July last year. And if anybody doesn't know what that means, it just means people are stitching Christmas in July.
Like doing Christmas. Yeah.
Some people I mean, it's anything. Some people are doing, 30 ornament starts or 15 ornament starts or whatever. And so, but I know I'm working on bigger Christmas pieces, like for sure the Hawk Run Hollow. And I have a couple others that I'll show when it gets closer, maybe next week, that I'm hoping to start. Obviously won't finish, but I've had in my stash. So I'm not doing ornaments, except for I might do that little Pinochka ornament, the bird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll talk about our Jolly July plans later, but that's what Jolly July is. If you don't already know, just stitch Christmas and share it. You can like tag Jolly July on Instagram or wherever you share your photos. So I think that's everything. So leave like our video, subscribe. It's really fun to read your comments. We really enjoy it. And
I am planning on going back through and commenting on your comments too. Again, didn't get to that this week, but I know Sarah did go through and at least acknowledge that we saw that.
Well, I get the notifications on my phone since I'm the one who uploads all the videos. So sometimes I forget to tell her, hey, we have new comments, but they are.
I can't like them, I don't think.
Oh, yeah, you might have to comment.
So I like commenting. I just I didn't get caught up on that. So I do hope to do that. Because we appreciate it.
The bright spot in our weeks, which have been sort of glum the last, I don't know, 3-4 months. I don't know. Since
I don't know.
But we are really enjoying and hope you're enjoying our videos. And we will be back next week with more stitching.
Have a good week, everybody. We love you.
Thanks for listening to us.